How the hell did these rats become so intelligent and deadly in the Monsters episode, Stressed Environment? Let's go. The episode opens with some steamy music and a shot of a science lab. We see a woman changing from her street clothes into her science scrubs. We see her in nothing but panties. There's even a shot of side boob. Meanwhile, a male scientist is watching. His name is Keith. And if I had to guess, I'd say he's hard at work. Anyway, this young woman's name is Gina. She's checking rat traps that are missing their bait, and even 2 of the traps themselves are missing altogether. Dr. Porter tells Gina to check the pesticide nozzles, which are jammed. Keith tells Dr. Porter that Dr. Winston is on the phone, and he's asking about some sketchy data from their lab. Dr. Porter's phone call is interrupted when Gina announces that the nozzle is stuffed with bits of cloth and other junk. Dr. Porter gets back on the phone with Dr. Winston, who is asking if he can visit the lab tomorrow, and she says she has no secrets and that he's more than welcome to come over. And Dr. Winston hangs up without even saying goodbye, cause he's a jerk. Uh-oh. Suddenly, Gina is attacked. Keith rushes to help her, and it's revealed that the attack was from a killer rat, which is still in Gina's now dead hands. Also, I wanted to show you the stop motion and my edit of it. The one on the left has a flicker to it, which has always bothered me, because it's such a cool scene. So I wanted to see what I could do with it. Now, granted, my edit isn't perfect, but it is a huge improvement. Anyways, let's get back to it. Dr. Porter examines the rat's weapons with Dr. Winston and Keith the next day. Dr. Winston asks, "Where's the rat?" And Keith says, "I curb stomped that little biatch to death." Dr. Winston doubts the information and tells Dr. Porter he's gonna fire her. Dr. Porter throws a passive-aggressive fit, telling Dr. Winston he's not gonna fire her because she's conducting an experiment that has not been authorized. She reveals that the experiment is a stressed environment to push rats to a higher intelligence, which is why they are making clothing and weapons. Dr. Winston says he's gonna need more proof besides this badass looking rat. Look at this fucking thing. Jesus Christ, that is sick as fuck, bro. They hear the sound of crazy, bloodthirsty monster rats, and then the power gets cut off. As they inspect the cause of the power problem, some rats pop up and spook them. It turns out all of the doors are powered by electricity, so Dr. Winston decides he's gonna kick some rat ass. The rats have made a catapult from one of the missing rat traps from earlier, and this catapult slings poo powder. I'm assuming that's what that is. And the other has been fashioned into a spear launcher of sorts. Dr. Winston is now dead. And as Dr. Porter checks on Dr. Winston's corpse, Keith is attacked from above by killer rats. Dr. Porter finds a dying mutant rat and tells it she won't bash its brains in. Then she discovers Keith is also dead. She then hears one of the rats speaking before it hisses at her. Dr. Porter tells the rat it's not escaping and that she could take it out quicker than it could take her out. Simple as that. But she's gonna show civility and kindness in hopes that this kindness will build a bridge between man and mutant rat. But just as she opens her arms for the rat, showing her love, it gives a signal to its homies, and she is struck with what seems to be only one tiny spear. They blew their budget making the rat, so they couldn't afford more spears. She falls to the ground and says how human-like the rats are after all. And that's our time for today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also consider joining the Patreon with these mutated rats here. Oh, and would you look at that? 2 videos that you should choose from right now. Pick one. Which one are you gonna pick? Pick one. Are you picking one? Which one are you gonna pick? Pick one. Are you picking one?